Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. I am one of two commentators tonight. My name's Malc, and with me tonight is Tim. How you doing, mate? You all right?
How you doing, Malc? It's been a few weeks, but I am ecstatic. I am so ready to get this race underway, and it's only preseason, but I'm just that excited to get this underway. I have been itching to just watch more of the Invictus Racing League. It's honestly been killing me, the fact that we've had, these 2 weeks off. So I'm just really excited to get it going. Is now we see two Red Bulls actually starting to pull out for practice, or qualifying rather.
Yeah, so two of the Red Bulls are coming out here. Just seeing Boy Better Now in the Racing Point car as well. So just to give you a recap to all the viewers watching it tonight, this is the pre-season race. So any car tonight is free allocation. There will be, it's not technically realistic, it's more about equal side because it's mainly to help out with the admins to decide to pick out the bestest car and the right realistic car for each track as we speak as well. There's been a few changes this season, which we have the points change as well this season, which we can't wait for as well. And also we also talk about the actual car allocation itself, Tim. So we usually have car allocation a week. Now it's been done by car allocation for once every 2 weeks. So that they'll have the same car twice in 2 weeks, obviously. But what's your thought of that, in your own personal opinion?
Can you repeat the question again, Malc? I'm sorry, I had a little bit of issues on my end.
Okay, I do apologise. Okay, so the changes that we've had this season in the Realistic Performance League is the points. So the points have been changed, so it'll be the higher points end. But also the car allocations have been changed now from 1 per week to 2 once every 2 weeks. So that they will have the same cars for 2 weeks. How does that feel for you on that?
Oh yeah. I support that change because it was really difficult to kind of follow along, and I'd say it was really difficult even for the drivers to get some solid, consistent runs going when they were jumping cars every week. Because one week you might be in the Racing Point, but then you could jump all the way up to maybe Ferrari or Red Bull or something like that, and then the next week or 2 weeks later, if you did real good in the Ferrari or Red Bull, then you'd be all the way back in a Toro Rosso or a Williams. So I really like the fact that now they are spacing it out, and it's going to be every 2 weeks. That way you give drivers a little bit more of a chance to get a consistent run, and it also gives the admins a chance to see what the drivers are able to do in that particular car for more than just one race.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see what they can capitalise on with the tracks coming up soon, with Japan being the first ever race for the brand new season as well, so we can't wait for that as well, and then the next track after that. So it depends on how they can capitalise on their momentum as well. I'm just watching Roy Boy now in the Toro Rosso now. He's coming up to the final corner now. Jos has done the fastest lap at the moment here with a 129.061. Ozone Time Food did a 129.174. Roy Boy has done a 129.7. Who are you watching so far, Tim?
Currently watching Luke Bailey in the Alfa Romeo. He's just now starting his flying lap, it looks like. Or no, actually, excuse me. He is actually going to finish his flying lap as he passes the DRS zone and going to pass the line here in just a minute. Where will he wind up? Only 7th, a 129.869 for Luke Bailey, followed by O. Steven 002 with a 131.0. So
that's still good times there. But interesting stats. Mr. Sky C, the Drivers' Championship winner of the last 4 seasons, cannot participate this season, so he's taken a season out to have a bit of a break. So we will have a brand new champion since when we had the split, when we had the 2 performance leagues, where Meg, who's in with us, coming back in the Realistic Performance League, he's in 4th at the minute with a 129.3, but he's the last champion, obviously, other than Mr. Sky C in the last 5 seasons on that one. But with so many competitors on track here, is there anyone that you saw from last season? Do you think they'll capitalise on getting better this season, or do you think there'll be a few shocks along the way, Tim?
Well, you've always got to put Yost in that mix whenever you're talking about a driver that's going to run strong, because Yost, week in and week out, he's always showing pace, and he's already showing pace today in the preseason. He's currently sitting in the pole with a 1:29.061. It's just the fact that Yost, as we've said so many times last season, is that he has such bad luck. This man could not have good luck if he paid for it. So if he can get some good luck, and if he can get some good finishes, then I think that he is going to be one of them to watch this season. Also coming in from the F3 League, I see Rimac running in the 13th position. Right now he's only at a 130.0, but he did a really good showing there at the last race when he came over for a race for us, and he did really well in the F3 League as well. So.
Yeah, he did really well. Like I said, Rimac, who's the Drivers' Championship winner from last season as well, moves up to F2 as well this season. So that be interesting to see how he can capitalise on it as well. So I wish him all the very best of luck. Same with all the drivers as well. I wish them all the very best of luck as well. So with the drivers on the hards and the medium tyres now, is this track your favourite track? And also, what would you have gone for if you was racing, if you was doing the qualifying tonight, Tim? Would you have gone for the hards, or would you start off on the mediums?
Well, I'd more or less try to go with what everyone else is doing, but personally, I think I would start in the mediums. And I could be completely wrong. Bahrain isn't really a track that I'm known for getting great finishes. I do like the track. I hate turns 9 and 10. We were discussing that a little bit earlier, actually. And as I'm watching Lozak right now, he's going up that really uphill right-hander. I hate that section as well, simply because if you touch a curb, then your race is, it might be over. Maybe not. It's maybe not a guarantee that it's going to be over, but you touch that curb, and you're basically just out of luck. Every time I just clip it, and I'm spinning around. So if you took those sections out of the Bahrain circuit, then this might very well be my favorite track, especially the really long straightaway, and you having to slow way down into that first corner. It's a first or even second gear corner. So the track itself, I really do like. It's just there's a few sections that I just cannot stand.
Absolutely, it's one of those trickiest tracks as well. But once you get the flow going, you can be absolutely delighted as well. Good evening to Sab. I hope everyone's okay. Well, so I'm just going to watch it live and exclusive for you guys for the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. Back live for a brand new season on the pre-season races as well. So there'll be a fantastic opportunity for these guys to become their new champion as well. So there'll be absolutely magnificent stuff there as well. But just trying to see what he can try and do. As this point here, still watching Colesbury now doing his lapping at the minute. I might have to look at Mike, who's just doing his lapping now. He's coming to the first corner now. So with some of the drivers itself, I know with Jos who's had some really unlucky times last season, but I think he's got an opportunity now to get those mistakes out of the way now, and I think he might push for a title here next season. Do you agree? I
definitely agree. Jos, as I said, he's always strong. He's one of the quickest drivers that I think that we've got in Invictus Racing League. So he is definitely one to watch, and he's definitely one that can get it done week in and week out. As now Carlsberry is actually rocketed to the top of the board, a 128.735 for Carlsberry, so that's a provisional pole at the moment with 8 minutes and 49 seconds remaining. So two Renaults already occupying the front row, with qualifying about halfway over. Boy Better Know running in the third position with a Red Bull of Lozak in fourth, and the Williams of Ozone Typhoon in fifth. So we really have a whole mess of cars up there in the top five.
Yeah, so see, fair play to Carlsberg there, who did a 128.735. That's a cracker of a time there as well. So let's see what he can try and do here as well. So I'm just still watching Mike now. He was purple on second sector. Mike's just coming up to the final bit now. Let's see what he can try and do. Oh, he's absolutely teasing us here, Tim. He's absolutely teasing us here. Absolutely manic stuff there as well. So Energy Dan. Well, actually, who are you watching so far, Tim?
currently watching the Red Bull of Meg Luckpie, who is on his outlap right now. Actually just got out of turns 9 and 10. So here in just a moment, he'll be able to start his flying lap. He's currently running in the 7th position with a 129.335. But I expect him to really kind of jump up there because he's a driver that's also shown some pace just in the past. I remember he was in, I believe, the first series that I began commentating for in the Invictus Racing League. And he was one of the people who actually kind of helped me along early on. So, taking a look at him here, I expect him to be fast. Gasto also, he's another driver that I neglected to mention, as he is rocketed to the top of the board with a 128.4. Granted, that's on soft tires, but Gasto, he was a driver that was showing a lot of speed last season as well. So really, there's just so many drivers in this field that I cannot pick. Because F1 Mr. P, he was talking to us about how, maybe sometimes he felt slow and sometimes he felt quick. And then today he's running at a 129 in 12th. But he's in, is that Ferrari or the Alfa Romeo? He's in the Alfa Romeo. And he was showing a lot of speed last season that F1 Mr. P is another one that I want to really keep an eye on. So I just keep bouncing around the field here because there's so many quick drivers that I'm seeing. And I think that this season is going to be one of the most competitive that we've seen in a while. Absolutely.
But anything could happen here. Anything could happen here on the F1, the Realistic Performance League. You just never know what to expect back as well. So we just can't wait for that.
And there was a lockup from Meg Luckpie actually going into turns 9 and 10. He just completely locked it up and shot it up into the runoff area. Not sure what happened there, but definitely not going to be a good lap from him this time around.
Yeah, we're just trying to see what it might be from turn 10 there. So turn 10 is one of the awkwardest corners ever. So if you don't get that, if from turn 9 and 10, if you don't get that spot on, you will lose out massively there as well. So we've got yellow flags on sector 2 at the moment, but that might be one of the Toro Rossos and one of the Renaults there. That might be Nigel Gash as well, so interesting to see what he could do there. Right, but we're looking at the times as well. Gasto with a 128.4 on the softs, though, but compared to the times between the hards and the mediums and the softs, the hards, it's like 1.21 second delta between the hards and the softs. So even if Carlsberg did the soft tyres, you would have got a 127.5 at most. So that will be an estimate for the softs as well. So either way, but I would not start on the softs. I would still not start on the softs either way, regardless. But I would start either on the hards or the mediums to go on there as well. So just watching it now, we're coming up to the 5-minute marker now, with so many drivers producing one of the bestest qualifyings in the pre-season races. 2 drivers, Schofield as well, another driver to watch out for as well. Frost Standard is in purple at the moment here, so he'll be the one to watch as well on the medium tyres. So that will be fantastic stuff there. So with the drivers itself, who do you think will get pole here tonight with 4 minutes 38 left, Tim?
Well, really, I think that Gasto might have it locked up. It's really not a big gap, but it's just the fact that he went out on the soft tires. So I don't think Carlsberg is going to beat that time on the hards. If he's going to beat it, he's going to have to go out on the mediums or the softs to try to get it. And it looks like Gasto is actually coming back out now, and he's going to try for another lap on the softs. He's on his out lap right now. So Gasto trying something different here. He's the only driver that's elected to even set a qualifying run on the soft tires. Every other driver has picked hards except for 3, those being Nitro Gash, Luke Bailey, and Scope Builder, who actually has not set a time yet, but is, as I speak, coming out onto the track for his outlap on medium tires. So those are the 3 drivers that have decided to go with medium tires. Everyone else is starting on the hards with the exception of Gasto. So, I'm almost wondering if Gasto is going to try to get out to an early lead and just hope that he can build up enough of a gap to where his pit stops are not going to hurt him as much, because, as it's looking right now, he might be looking at a 2-stop strategy, because the soft tires, I wouldn't expect them to last more than 10 laps at best.
You are spot on there, Tim. Roughly, with the soft tyres, they can only last about 10 to 11 laps fresh. as well. But Rymac, Sheepy moved up to second place with just a brief moment there, but Rymac moves up to first now with a 128.403 on the medium tyre as well. That's a cracker of time there. But we go into the tyre wear strategies. The tyre wear for the softs can last about 10 to 11 laps. The mediums can last about 15 laps, and the hards can last about 19 to 20 laps fresh. So it just depends on if these guys can try and capitalise on it. But the best strategy to go for is the soft hards as well. Just see what happens here as well. So we've got yellow flag sectors 1 and 2 at the moment here. That might be one of the Haas cars just ahead, which we're watching from Gasto's point of view here. So yellow flag sector 2, one of the Mercs. So it's purple, Tim. Gasto's on purple, but Ferocious Dan has moved up to first with a 128.206 now. That is a cracker of a time there. So Tim, who are you still watching so far?
Actually still watching Gasto, as you said that he did actually go purple, so taking a look at him right now as he is still running in the third position at 128.4. Of course, that was his last time. And Ferocious Dan, as you said, rocketing to the top of the board. So already I've been proven wrong, and some medium tires have beat Gasto's time, but with Gasto on the soft tires, I actually look for him to beat his time yet again and maybe even get a pole, because right now we're seeing the top, looking at it, it's actually the top 9 drivers are all within a second of each other. So it's 128 from first all the way to 9th, and then 10th is Nitro Gas with a 129.0, which is still within a second of that pole time. It is so amazing that the top 10 is within literally 1 second, as Gasto is actually just now going to cross the line as he passes the DRS zone, and the line is next.
Oh!
Will he end up in pole? Yes, he will. It's 128.023 for Gasto in the Toro Rosso.
That is a brilliant time there from Gasto there. Absolutely fantastic time there from Gasto on the soft tyres as well. But can anyone try and stop that? We'll just have to wait and see. Oh, Yoss is purple. Yoss is purple on the first sector there. Mr. P is retired. Carsbury, I think he's retired on track as well, so that will have to be checked after. But Mr. P has retired from the session here. I think he has retired, must have made a mistake after turn 3 there, but still watching Yoss now coming down the straight here, passing into turn 10 into 11 now, up the hill part here, where you could easily caught the curbs there if you don't watch it there at turn 12 as well. So still watching it from him now. He's purple. He's absolutely purple there on second sector here. He's down the straight now for the final part of the third sector here. Can Yoss beat Gasto's time on the medium tyres here? This will be an absolutely belter of a time here. You would expect that to be a lot better here from Yoss, but this will be an absolute belter here. Can he try and get pole? He has, with a 127.7. Absolutely unbelievable stuff there. Tim?
Unbelievable indeed, Malc. 127.7. As you said, Gasto is going to have to settle for the second position with a Actually, no, he's going to have to settle for third with a 128.0, as Lozak has now crossed the line and getting into second with a 127.877. So 2 medium tires setting a 127 lap time. Gasto having to settle for a 128.0 as he pulls into the pits, and his qualifying lap is now over. So Gasto, our provisional pole sitter for a while, going to have to settle for third. Ferocious Dan, meanwhile, who put a really fast lap down, is going to have to settle for fourth. Yoss, so far, looks like the provisional pole, but are there any drivers that might be able to challenge him out there, Mal?
At the moment, the top 8, I cannot see that happening. But at the moment, the only one I could see outside of the top 10 is Boy Better Know, but he was not purple. I repeat, he is not purple on first sector here. So he might do well here. He might just get into the top 6 by 4/10 at least, but just depends on what happens here. We've got yellow flags on sector 3 as well. That might be scope filter there. So Boy Better Know is coming up. He's purple on. Oh, here we go, Tim. Boy Better Know is at purple on second sector here. This will be an absolute belt of a time then. Will he try and beat Yoss on the final bit of the qualifying here? He's coming up to the final corner now for the downhill straight of the DRS. He needs to get that belter. Will he get pole? Oh, he misses out. He misses out by 3/10 exactly. So Spud has retired from the session. That is what you see is what you're gonna get, Tim. Unbelievable qualifying.
That is a really good time from Boy Better Know. A 128 flat. That is just magnificent. So I'm actually surprised to see Gasto on the soft tires to be all the way back in the 4th position. You know, and Ferocious-Dan now running in 5th. So far, you know, we're seeing who's quick here tonight. And like I said, just surprised to see Gasto there in, you know, on the softs with a 128, but apparently he just did not get a good lap in. But what a good time by Yas. A 127.7 flat on the medium tires to get the pole. That's just astounding.
Yeah, absolutely magnificent stuff there. But Jos, hopefully he can try and capitalise on getting it from first and holding on for first, and hopefully get that boost into the brand new season. Here are your short qualifying classification for the Bahrain Grand Prix. For the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League, you got Jos in first, Lozak in second place, Boy Better Know in third, Gasto is in fourth, Ferocious-Dan is in fifth, Rymac is in sixth, Meg Lugby in seventh, Sheepy is in eighth, Ozone Typhoon is in 9th, Luke Bailey is in 10th, Carlsberry is in 11th, Scopefield is in 12th, Nigel Gash is in 13th, O Stephen 14th, Roy Boy 15th, Mr P 16th, Energy Dan 17th, so Spud 18th as well. So we just do the usual advertisements, guys, and then we're about to kick off with the race itself. This is the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League, live and exclusive for you guys on the Tuesday nights, with myself, Malc and Tim, to bring you live coverage, as always, on the Tuesday nights. Not only we do the Tuesday nights, but we also got the Monday Night League, which is the F1 League, the Premier League, the top flight division there, with all the fastest drivers, the bestest drivers as well, on the Monday nights at 8 PM with Gareth and Sab, aka Captain Stiff and Sab as well. But also we also have the Wednesday nights as well with the F2 and F3 league as well. But like I said, myself on well, I don't do the commentary area more actually. There will be new commentators on the F3 league with Harry and Charlie, so they'll bring you live exclusive for you guys on the Wednesday nights. So that will be fantastic stuff as well, and also the F2 league as well on the Wednesday nights. We also got the podcast coming up on the Thursday nights as well with Captain Stiff and Sab as well. So make sure you tune in on that on the Thursday nights on the YouTube channel. Not only we're on YouTube, guys, but we also got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. So make sure you like, subscribe as well for all the latest updates as well. But also the main important thing of all is the InvictusRacingLeague.com. Make sure if you enjoy the racing and you want to participate, why don't you register yourself, sign up and apply to race, and one of the admins will get in contact with you to do a practice race and see if you're really up for it. And hopefully if you are successful, you might be in the league by the next week or so, to see how it goes as well. But also, not only we got the PS4 League, but we've also got the Xbox League, which is on the Sunday nights at 9:30 PM. So make sure you tune in on that on the YouTube channel as well. But for the usuals, please make sure you like subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the live races and get up to date with that as well. So while we get the setup there and ready to go, Tim, we do the usual. Who's going to be your top 3 for tonight?
Well, I'm definitely going to have to say that Yas is going to be in there somewhere. I'm thinking Lozak, and it's going to be a toss-up between... Oh, man. You know, I'm going to have to give it a toss-up between 3 different drivers of Gasto, Ferocious-Dan, and Rymac, because they were showing some really good speed. Not sure about Gasto, though, because of those soft tires. So maybe a more realistic choice would be Rymac or Ferocious-Dan. But, you know, I could be wrong, and Gasto might be able to make the soft tires work. It's just that I'm going to be looking at him when it comes to pit stops, because he's going to have to pit far earlier than basically the rest of the entire field. Because I'm actually looking at it right now, and it looks as though every driver has elected to take either the mediums or the hards. In fact, most on the mediums, except for Luke Bailey and Gasto, who are both on the softs.
Absolutely fantastic stuff there. So all the drivers are going to be all set and ready to go. I'll hand it over to Tim for the usual lineups, as always, to start it off. So Tim, over to you.
First time in 2 weeks that we get to do this, Malc, and I am excited, and I have been ready since the checkered flag waved for the end of the realistic performance last season. All the drivers lining up on the grid and getting ready to go with their eyes fixated on those lights, and you hear those engines revving, you hear those itchy pedal feet, they are ready to go. Looking up at the lights, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights, and it is green for the Invictus Racing League's Performance League Bahrain Grand Prix for the preseason. Yas already getting out to an early lead with Lozak in second. Boy better know now, moving up into second. 3 wide going into turn 1 for the first lap, and on the inside it is Lozak in the Red Bull who is getting the advantage. Yas getting a little bit of contact there from Boy better know, and getting shuffled all the way back to the 4th position and under pressure now from the McLaren of Ferocious Dan. Rymac running in 3rd, meanwhile in a Ferrari is starting to step out of line out back. That looks to be Sheepy trying to make a move on Ferocious Dan, but he falls back in line. Yas, your pole sitter, running in 4th, trying to chase down Rymac, who is all up on the back bumper of Lozak, going to try to make a move. His Boy better know has already made a move past Lozak to get into first. That Racing Form machine he is just pulling away, and now Rymac trying to go on the outside of Lozak. There's maybe a little bit of contact there. Lozak will hang on to it at least for the time being. He has the advantage as they approach turns 9 and 10. Lozak going really deep into that corner, and getting even in the back of Lozak is Rymac in that Mercedes. So Lozak goes wild. Rymac moves into second, but that's going to allow Yas to get close to Lozak, who is now trying to make a move on the inside of that Red Bull, the Renault, but Lozak trying to go on the outside of Rymac on the Mercedes as they approach that uphill right-hander.
That's been a brilliant start there from some of the drivers there. I think there was a bit of contact at the first corner there, but Yosh has gone a little bit wide there at turn 12 there, but this is now brought for us to stand back into play here into 4th place here. So now Yosh is trying to drop down to 5th. He's had a bad start here. Lozak's moved up to 2nd place now. Ferocious Dan holding on here as well, but Yosh will try and pounce back here as well. But we might have a train going on here because we've got Meg Luckby's Yosh has had to go into the pits here, so he must have had some front wing damage here as well. But Sheepy's going closer, but Luke Bailey's trying to get closer as well too. Sheepy now for 7th place here, but oh my days. Boy, this is an absolute belter of a start here on the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League as well. So this is absolutely fantastic stuff there. And we might have 2 wide here at the Toro Rosso there. Gasto there. So Gasto must have made a mistake there. Yeah, there was a mistake there from Gasto. He went on the inside there. He's got to be careful there. He nearly caught up with one of the Ferraris there, but he's got to be careful there. And I'll tell you what, Gasto tried to go for the inside there. He did not pull off there one bit, but it just got caught off at the last bit there as well. So we're just going to go back to Ferocious Dan there because he's getting closer. Sheepy and Meg Luppy at the background there is going to try and get closer than ever before here, but they're having a proper race here tonight, Tim.
Oh, it is a proper race indeed. I've been watching Rymac and Lozak basically just trade paint and trade positions. Lozak right now battling a bit of a loose condition. As I ride on board with him, it looks as though he's just really working that wheel. Gets that curve a little bit going in that uphill right-hander, but he hangs onto it very nicely, but goes a little bit wide out of that corner. Rymac, meanwhile, starting to pull away, but nobody has anything for Boy Better Know, who is 2.6 seconds ahead of the Mercedes of Rymac at the moment. As they round the final corner, DRS will be active after this lap. So once they cross the line, they will have DRS. So maybe Lozak will be able to make a move on Rymac soon, but Boy Better Know is far and away out of DRS range. Yeah,
we'll just have to wait and see what happens here at this moment in time here, but they're still trying to avoid the contacts here. But we might have a 3-car battle here between Sheepy, Luke Bailey and Colesbury. So we're going to go straight to that now. And it looks like Luke Bailey is going to try and make the move here, but he doesn't. He thought about it, but he did not make the move as well. But hopefully we'll try and pounce as much as possible here. Steve is getting closer to Roy Boy now for 10th place here by 2/10. But still, it's anyone's game here tonight as well. But Energy Dan is stuck in the pits to go and put on the fresher hard tyres as well. So let's see what he can try and do here. But with the hard tyres, he can last about 19 to 20 laps. So he will have to do another stop later on in the race here tonight. But as you can see, Boy Better Now had a great start here, and he's moved up to 3.4 seconds of a gap to Rymac now. But still watching this battle here of Colesberry, who's getting closer to Luke Bailey now for 4/10 now. So let's see what happens here. But Tim, who are you watching so far?
I can't take my eyes off of this battle between Rymac, Lozak, and now Ferocious Dan joining it, with even Meg Luckby trying to stick his nose into the mix. He's sort of waiting in the wings, just kind of watching it, but Lozak is starting to gain on Rymac, and he's now actually just past the DRS range. So he has DRS, and he has the slipstream. Going to try to make a move on Rymac, and as he goes on the outside of the Mercedes, they are side by side, heading down into turn 1, and Lozak, he will get out ahead of Rymac. So Lozak moves into second with Rymac at third. Rymac now going back on the offensive, going to try to chase down that Red Bull. He's going to have the DRS, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything with it this time. He's trying to maybe move out of line, but just not quite close enough to make a move. Meanwhile, behind him, Ferocious Dan and Meg Luckby both are just kind of watching this battle. They're not trying to make any moves. They're just kind of watching and seeing what's going on, waiting for their moment to pounce.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But fair play to Lozak, who moves up to second place. But Rymac's getting closer now to Lozak now again, coming up to, which is the awkwardest corners of them all, which is turn 9 and 10 now. You've got to be careful there as well, but they're still holding on there. They're still holding on, but we'll have the DRS now. So Rymac could have a chance here to try and pounce on Lozak here. He's going around the inside now, and he thought he might have made the move there, but Ferocious Dan might have a think twice here to try and get past on Rymac here for third place here. We're on lap 4. We're on lap 4 of 29 of the Invictus Racing League, the Realist Performance League. So at the moment here, Boy Better Now is in first, Lozak is in second, Rymac is in third, Ferocious Dan is in fourth, Meg Luckby is in fifth, Sheepy is in sixth, Carlsberg is in seventh, Luke Bay is in eighth, Nitrogash is in ninth, Roy Boy is in 10th, O Stevens is in 11th, Schofield is in 12th, Mike is in 13th, Mr. P is in 14th, Gasto 15th, Spud 16th, Yosh 17th, Ozone 18th, and Energy Dan in 19th place. But can Ferocious Dan was having another look again on Rymac, but you have another opportunity here up the hill higher, passing into turn 3 now. But Carlsberg moves up to 6th now. Carlsberg moves up to 6th, passing Sheepy now for the Ferrari. So Tim, what's been your thought of the race so far?
I think it's been absolutely crazy. Sorry for the mic issues there, but yeah, it has been absolutely crazy race. And currently, I'm watching the battle for the 10th position. O. Steven just made a move, and he's running in 10th now. Scopefielder is in 11th. The Toro Rosso of Roy Boy is in 12th. And there for about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a lap, they were really just, switching back and forth. They were so very close to each other, just all up on the back bumper. Just basically nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail for all 4 of these cars. So even at the back of the pack for that final points position, that, mind you, does not even count for today because it's preseason. They're still battling it out.
They're still battling out, but just a reminder to the guys who've just joined in, the Realist Performance League tonight is the pre-season. So the cars are all set as equal, so the admins can check what the pace as each driver has got, so it'll be easier during the season as well. So that's just why it's a bit closer than ever before as well. So, Ferocious Dan, Rymac's gone wide there at turn 15 there, but this Ferocious Dan just made the move, slick as you like there, and he does it perfectly there with a third place there. But Rymac will not give up here. I thought he might have tried and make another move there, but Ferocious Dan say, well, here you go, that's what's happened there, Sunshine, and that is what you're going to get there. So I'm just going to have a quick look at Stephen with Scopefielder here, because Scopefielder's trying to close in on Stephen now for 10th place here, but Carlsberg could have a chance on Meg Luckby there for 5th place, as long as he can keep capitalising it as well. With the hard tyres, that's still a good opportunity here for Carlsberg to push now to try and get ahead there. But who are you watching so far, Tim?
Actually watching the battle just a little bit behind you between Mike and Roy Boy, though it's kind of started to calm down. Mike in the Mercedes, he's gaining just a little bit on that Toro Rosso, but really not trying to force the issue here. And with it only being lap 6, I really can understand that. I can sympathize with that. As actually Mike gets a little bit loose there. Not sure what happened, and F1 Mr. P actually went very wide. So now as they approach turn 9 and now turn 10, Mike and F1 Mr. P now they look pretty stable, but there for a minute it looked as Mike was almost going to go into the wall. He just really got loose out of that corner, while Mr. P went very wide. Roy Boy now trying to chase down Scope Filter, but just not close enough. About a little over a second separating those two, while Scope Filter looks like he's getting a big run on O'Steven at the moment, but not able to do anything with it yet. And in fact, he had a really great run out of the exit of that corner, but his momentum, he just lost his momentum because O'Steven was there, and you just cannot go through a solid object.
He can't make any mistakes during the race here, and unfortunately now Schofield will pounce here. And if you look at it from his point of view, he might have the DRS here. Yellow flag set to 3, so something must happen there. There was a battle going on behind there of the Roy Boy and Mike situation there. So Roy Boy's made the move, and Scope's made the move. No, O'Steven's made the move here. We've got 2 wide here. We might have a battle here, but at the moment here, Scope's just past there. But if you look behind there, oh, Jos is retired. Jos has left the session here, so he's out of the pre-season race here. So he has retired in the pits here, so he will not carry on here. We're on lap 7 of 29, so lap 7 of 29. Mike is getting closer to Roy Boy for 12th and 13th place as we speak. So we're just going to have a quick look at that. But is there been good battles that you watched so far, Tim, from your point of view?
I think the field is more or less starting to get spaced out. I'm going to go ahead and rejoin the top 5, as it looks like they're still running somewhat close. The Mercedes of Rimac behind the McLaren of Ferocious Dan. Of course, Boy Better Know still out in a league of his own, 4.6 seconds ahead of everybody else. Lozak running in second, of course, and behind him, about half a second, is Ferocious Dan. So these drivers are really not trying to make any moves at the moment. They're just kind of riding in line. DRS is probably going to help them here, as both Ferocious Dan and Rimac have the DRS, and Ferocious Dan is actually going to use it to his advantage, as well as the slipstream, to try to make a move on Lozak going on the inside, hitting into turn 1, but will he clear him? Yes, he does. Move that McLaren up into the 2nd position, but Lozak's going to try to fight back, just not able to do it. Ferocious Dan looked like, and Lozak gets really, really loose. Wow, that was a really good save from Lozak. Just absolutely lost it and gained it back at the perfect time.
Oh, Meg Luppy's made the move on. Well, Cosbo's made the move on Meg Luppy now. So that is just absolutely magnificent.
And Meg Luppy stopped. Meg Luppy has spun. Not sure what happened. I switched over to it, and he is spun around. So he's dropping back now all the way to 10th and about to be in the 11th position even. So really bad luck for Meg Luppy already.
Yes, I think there might have been contact between himself and Cosbo, but there was a few drivers who went off track just for a brief moment there, but we got the virtual safety car while that's happening. But watching it from Meg's car there, there's no front wing damage, so he's lucky that there's no front wing damage there, so he can still carry on with those medium tyres as well. But Cosbo moves up to 4th place now. But Lozak, who had a great battle for the top 3, he's now dropped himself down to 7th. So he made a massive mistake as well. Same with Sheepy as well. So some of the drivers who've had bad times at the moment here, they've dropped themselves down, Tim.
Yeah, I don't know. This race has really just been crazy because, you have our pole sitter who's already in dead last place with a DNF. Lozak even just now getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that's during the virtual safety car of all time. So, what we said as far as what our prediction for the top 3 was and who we thought is fast has basically just been thrown out the window here. Boy Better Know still out to a really big lead, or at least he was. In fact, yeah, that he still is 5.9 seconds, but Rimac now trying to make a move on Ferocious Dan, not going to be able to make it work this time. I'm going to go ahead and apologize if I get the positions wrong. I'm actually having some scoring issues on my end.
It's no problem there at all, but I'm still watching O'Steven and Meg Luppy here for 7th and 8th here. But Meg Luppy thought he'd make the move there, but O'Steven holding on his line here, and Meg Luppy's going for the inside there. And what a move there. What a absolute move there from Meg Luppy there. That battle's going on, and then we've got Mike and Roy Boy having another battle there. So many battles galore here. We cannot take our eyes off it for any second, whatever happens here tonight, dear Tim.
And then Mike is spun. Mike got into the back of the McLaren of O'Steven, and then he's spun coming out of turn 8. So Mike already dropping back. He's in 12th at the moment. He's trying to get his car back, pointed the right direction, but unfortunately for Mike, he has spun, and he was running in a fairly decent position, but he just got a little too much speed going into that corner, got into the back of O'Steven, and then it sent him around.
Yeah, so maddening stuff there. But O'Stephen trying to make the move. Always go a little bit wide there. Turn 12 there into 13 at the end of the second sector here. So this is an opportunity here. But O'Stephen and McLupper having a fantastic battle here. Carlsberg's got the fastest lap of the race now with 1:31.8 now. But Ryan Mack could be closer to Ferocious Dan in a moment too. But still watching O'Stephen and McLupp here. McLupp is going to the pits there. Yellow flags there. Lozak has dropped himself down to 17th place here. And he's spun at turn 11. So turn 11 there. So he'll try and get himself back up and racing here. But Roy Boy has made the move on Mr. P there, so that's a fantastic move there. But Mr. P will not give up here. We might have two wide here. Tim. We're up to turn 4. Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant there from Mr. P. Brilliant stuff there, just at the nick of time there, Tim. Oh.
Yeah, just at the nick of time indeed. And now Lozak, he is retired from the session, so not sure what's going on there, but Lozak retiring, so we have 2 retirees as Boy Better Know still runs in first. Do you know what happened with Lozak now?
He must have lost it at turn 14, 15, but this has brought the safety car now. Mr. P's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car part there. So that means he's out of the... Lozak is out of the race here. So we're going to have to get all the safety car, all the cars bunched up and ready to go. But for the guys who are on the medium tyres, this will be a perfect opportunity now to get on the hards now, which is what Boy Better Know is the first person to go on there as well. While some of the drivers have already gone for the hard tyres earlier on, or maybe the softs to try and get themselves prepped up and push up as well. But this has been an interesting start, or interesting race on lap 11 or 29 here, Tim. With the safety car coming in, we'll just have to wait and see who's going to try. I would expect majority of the drivers will go on the hard tyres, except for Carlsberg. Might have to go on the medium tyres, which he does. But this will be a massive opportunity here. But I do feel sorry for Boy Better Know, because he had that massive gap of 6 seconds, and now that's just completely gone now because of the safety car, Tim.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to give us an opportunity for some really close racing, so I'm excited about that. Of course, Boy Better Know, as you said, he's not liking that, but every driver behind him is. So you got Ferocious Dan lining up in second, Ryan Mack in third. It should be Luke Bailey in fourth, is it not? As I said, I'm having really weird scoring issues, and it's scoring drivers in places that I know they shouldn't be. So it looks as though Luke Bailey's going to be in fourth, and Scopefield are going to be in the fifth position.
Well, I think we've got some technical difficulties with the scoring as well, because on my screen, Carlsberg is in fourth, Luke Bailey is in fifth, Scopefield is in sixth, then Sheepy as well. Good evening to everyone that's joined the session. I hope everyone's all okay and well and enjoying the race as well. So if you just joined on the first official safety car without the virtuals tonight. We had one virtual one earlier on in the race, but we've now got the proper safety car because the Lozak had an unfortunate, he must have crashed at turn 14, 15 of the track at Bahrain Grand Prix, and Yoss is the early retirement through the pits at lap 7. So we'll just try and get themselves on here. So yeah, I think we've just got some issues with the scores from Tim's and mine as well. So I think on mine I'll try and mention it on the scoring point of view, but Mr. P's got a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Sir Spud, so I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but hopefully I think in the next lap or two we might see joining in as well. I do apologise there, someone's just joined in on there, but just have to wait and see what happens here as well. So we just want to wait for the guys to get themselves prepped up and ready to go. So we're just waiting for, which looks like Energy Dan and Mike, to try and catch up with the grid here. 2 drivers have gone into the pits there with Gasto and Mr. P as well. So just waiting for that on here. Arky says going on mediums with 18 laps to go. Yeah, this is in big brain time. I mean, the telemetry with the mediums can last about 15 laps, but it just depends if Carlsberg's got that tyre wear strategy that's perfect to last a few more laps, which the safety car is helping as well. Mike's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so I think he'll go on for probably the hard tyres again, or maybe the mediums. If he is going the mediums, that'll be interesting stuff here. But he will lose that 5 seconds on here. So we'll just try and wait for the safety car to come in. We probably would be kicking off again for one more lap. Might be for one more lap. We'll just wait and see. Normally with the safety cars, it normally takes about two laps in, and then for the 50% races, and then we'll go straight in as well. So with this restart here, Tim, who's going to be the one to watch at the restart after the safety car?
I'm going to keep my eye on those guys behind Boy Better Know, especially Ferocious Dan running in second. He's probably going to be ready to go. Boy Better Know, of course, he's going to be ready to go too, but he's going to have to defend, and he is going to have a disadvantage because where the field is bunched up, there's going to be DRS for the drivers behind him. So he is going to have to be on the defensive like nobody's business. Whereas Ferocious Dan, Rymac, Carlsberry, Luke Bailey, Scopefilter, those drivers that are really close that can just see the lead, they're going to have to pounce, they're going to have to go, they're going to have to run hard. Because Boy Better Know got out to such an early lead that I think the only way that they're going to beat him is if they try to keep him within DRS range right out of the gate.
Well, hopefully we'll try and see what happens here as well from the guys' point of view of Rymac and Carlsberry and Ferocious Dan as well, who they need to try and get a good start here, which what Boy Better Know did after what happened there as well. But just wait and see what happens here. Energy Dan is going to the pits, which looks like it'll be for fresh mediums. Mike's just gone into 16th now, so I think the safety car will come in on this lap because Mike and Energy Dan will catch up with the safety cars. So that will be what's happening here as well. So to be honest, Ferocious Dan, Rymac, Carlsberry, and maybe Luke Bailey as well, those ones that are going to have to pounce at that every moment of opportunity here. Hello to Dutch Louis, hope you're okay and well. So, like I said, the safety car will come in because now all the cars are all bunched up now. So, like I said, Boy Better Know will be the new, theoretically, the new safety car leader while the safety car goes back into the pits. But it's so tough here because you've got so many good drivers here and producing the goods in the Realistic Performance League tonight. You don't want to make, to be honest, I know it's pre-season, you want to get those mistakes out of the way, but you want to start off with a good season. Don't you agree, Tim?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this is, where this is pre-season, it's not necessarily points that are on the line, but it's the driver's confidence that matters just as much. And if they have a really bad race in the preseason, or if, maybe they're just not up to speed as maybe they feel that they should be, then that could really hurt their confidence, and it could hurt their performance throughout the rest of the season. So, these preseason races do as much for the admins as it does for the drivers. It can really show them where they're strong and where they're not, and give them something to kind of work towards for the coming season. But I do believe that the safety car is in now, and we're going to be going green anytime. And here we go with Boy Better Know in the lead. Ferocious Dan in second, going to try to chase down Boy Better Know, but not sure what he's going to be able to do. Rymac in third, so it's a 1-2-3 car battle for the lead. Luke Bailey now in fourth as they go through turn one. Boy Better Know, Ferocious Dan, Rymac nose to tail. Racing Point, McLaren, and the Mercedes. Ferocious Dan's going to have the DRS here, but will he be able to do anything with it? No, he will not. Nothing with the slipstream at all. Boy Better Know is just in a league of his own, and he is fast today.
Yeah, but Rymac's made the move here on Carlsberry here. He's just out of nowhere here. Rymac has just made the move there. Scopefielder made the move on Luke Bailey just a moment or two ago. But to tell you what, Carlsberry has just tried to make the move there, but it looked like there was a bit of contact between himself and Ferocious Dan's car there. So It doesn't look like he's got any front wing damage, but he's still in contact in there. But he's right on tail there of Ferocious Dan for second place here. So he's right on the tail, and he might have the slipstream here, might have a chance to go on the inside here, but he tries to make the move, still sticking on the inside, and he makes the move done. What a move! What a move there from Carlsberry there. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. So Tim, who are you watching so far?
Currently still watching the battle for the lead. Ferocious Dan in second, but 1.1 seconds behind Boy Better Known now. So the Racing Point machine is definitely in a league of his own. Rimac trying to chase down that McLaren, and Scopebuilder in fourth, joining this mix. He's on a soft tire, so look for him to really be fast here, but he's only got about 7 to 10 laps to really be able to do anything with it, but running in fourth already, he's looking very good. Trying to use the slipstream to get to Rimac and gonna try to make a move on the outside, going on the turn one on the outside. On the outside, Rimac in fifth, Scopebuilder in fourth. My apologies there, but Scopebuilder, what a good move.
Yeah, brilliant move there from Schofield, but Rimac will pounce here again. He nearly tried to make the move there on Schofield there, but Rimac is just trying to pounce here. But with Schofield on the soft tyres as well, if he can try and hold those soft tyres, I doubt he'll try and get them all the way to the end, but he'll have to pit again by the looks of things anyway. But Carlsberg's getting closer to Boy Better Know with 4/10 now. Ferocious Dan with 6/10, and then Scopefield are trying to close in on Ferocious Dan for third place here as well. So many battles galore here. You've got Ozone Time Food trying to close in on Roy Boy, as well as Stephen and Sir Spud. So they're all bunched up again, but still, you just never know what to expect back here. But we're still going to go back to the top two here, because Carlsberry is only 4/10 off behind Boy Better Know for first place here. So this is a great opportunity here to try and get the lead here off Boy Better Know, who had a great start in the race here tonight. Tim.
I'm at a bit of a loss for words. On my screen, Carlsberry is actually running in 17th, so we have a really weird scoring issue. So I'm actually not seeing Carlsberry anywhere up there. I'm seeing Ferocious Dan is being scored in the second position. So I have no idea what's actually going on.
So I will try and say this now. So Carlsberry is in second place, closing in on Boy Better Know with 4/10 on there. So again, we might have some technical difficulties with the scoring stuff, but hopefully that will be sorted by next week. But anyway, we got Boy Better Know in first, Carlsberry's in second, Ferocious Dan is in third, Scopefield is in fourth, Rimac is in fifth, Luke Bailey's in sixth, McLuckpy is in seventh, Nigel Gash is in eighth, Sheepy is in ninth, Sir Spud is in 10th, O'Stevens in 11th, Roy Boy is in 12th, O'Sun Time Food is in 13th, Gasto's in 14th, Mike is in 15th, Mr. P is in 16th, Energy Dan is in 17th, and Lozak and Yoss are the only two casualties, shall we say, of retirements of, well, now we've got Energy Dan, who's retired. I think he's retired in the pits, so now he'll have to stop on track. So now Energy Dan is the third person out of the race here, so hopefully we'll try and capitalise on that as well. We've got a purple on there for Carlsberry, so he's 2/10 off now of Boy Better Know in first, so this will be a massive opportunity to try and get a good opportunity here. But with the hard tyres will kick in the next few laps here, I wouldn't be surprised if Boy Better Know can try and hold on here. But fair play to Carlsberry, he could have a chance to make the move here into first place here, and he tries to get on. So we'll just wait and see what happens here. But Carlsberry is going to first place now. Boy Better Know has dropped down to second place now. So, but Boy Better Know is going side by side here. Carlsberry moves up to first now. This is absolutely fantastic opportunity here for Carlsberry and Boy Better Know. Having a proper battle here for first and second place here. But now Carlsberry will push on now to get that opportunity here. But how long will those medium tyres can last here for the next 12 laps? We will find out later on in the race here. Tim.
Yeah, we will find out indeed. And we're also going to find out if anybody's got anything for Boy Better Know. It looks like Ferocious Dan is now starting to get a little bit closer. 0.8 seconds separating those two now, but he's going to have to watch out for Scopebuilder, who is in third on those soft tires. But with 6 laps already on those soft tires, they're likely starting to show their age. So here in just a few laps, I'm actually going to be looking for Scope Filter to pull into the pits and see what he can do about that.
Yeah, just waiting to see what happens here as well. So Carlsberry would do that. I'm just going to look at Luke Bailey now, try and close in on Roy Mack now for 5th place here. So Luke Bailey with 6/10 now, try and close in on Roy Mack now. So let's see what he can try and do here for this point of view. So let's see what happens here. We're on lap 18 of 29. Oh, he nearly went to the back of Roy Mack there, but still hold on there. Oh, Stephen moves up to 10th now, so Spud moves back up to 10th place now. So this is an absolute opportunity here for Luke Bailey to try and get that move done. If not, there's some battle going on at the background there. It looks like O'Stephen and Sir Spud. Yes, it is. O'Stephen moved up to 10th place there, so fantastic stuff there from him. But still watching this battle between Roy Mack and Luke Bailey here as well. But we might have a 3-car battle here for 10th place here, Tim. Maybe 4-car battle actually from O'Stephen's point of view. But O'Sun Typhoon moves up to 12th place now. Roy Boy drops down to 13th place here as well. So what are you watching so far, Tim?
Actually, I went back to take a look at that battle for 10th as the Roy Boy and the Toro Rosso really locking up and getting into that millions of Ozone Typhoons. So maybe no harm, no foul, but as they were going into turn 10, it just looked like he got too much speed, was locking up the Williams and Ozone Typhoon, going to try to make a move on Roy Boy, but not able to do it this time. And it looks like the Toro Rosso's now starting to gain on the Ferrari of Sir Spud up there. So Roy Boy going to maybe try to make a move for 10th here in just a moment. And Ozone Typhoon just kind of waiting in the wings, wanting to follow Roy Boy through. But Roy Boy still running in 11th, all up on the back bumper of Sir Spud, and going to try to make a move as they go down into this final corner. On the inside, it is the Toro Rosso. Outside is Sir Spud in the Ferrari, while Ferocious Dan still runs in 4th, getting closer and closer to Scope. We're going to take a look at that now as they just come out of turn 1 into turn 2. Scope running in 3rd, Ferocious Dan in 4th. Thought it was getting a little bit closer than what it actually was. Meanwhile, Rymac is in 5th, with Luke Bailey already have been able to make the move by him.
Yeah, so this is an absolutely fantastic opportunity here for Roy Mack here to try and close in on Luke Bailey now. We was watching that Spud battle there of Osun Typhoon. Yellow flag set to 2 there. That is Carlsberry. Carlsberry's made a massive mistake there at turns 6 and 7 there. So that will compromise there. Who thought he would have had a great run in outside to do well here, but now he'll have to do all of that again there from 6th place here, but he's right on the tail there of Roy Mack here for 5th place here as well. But he's only under a 10th now. He's going to have to go around the outside here, and he does make the move there, and that's a brilliant move there from Carlsberry there, who moves up to 5th place. Tim.
Still watching Ferocious Dan and Scope Filler running for 2nd and 3rd respectively. Boy better know, of course, still out in a league of his own. Scope Filler 8 laps on those soft tires at the moment. So not sure what's going to happen here. Looking for him to pit very soon. In fact, maybe this lap as he got really loose out of that corner, but he's going to stay on track at least for the time being. Ferocious Dan starting to creep in, though, using that DRS and using that slipstream. He's going to try to make a move on the inside, and he does. And with relative ease, Ferocious Dan gets by Scope Filter. But Scope Filter, he's not going to let him have it that easily. No, he is going to fight back and fight back hard, trying to use the DRS and trying to use everything he possibly can to get by him. He's going to try to make a move on the outside, but will he be able to do this? They are side by side, wheel to wheel, going to turn 3. It's the McLaren versus Williams showdown. Scope Filter has the preferred line on the inside, and he will make the move. He is moved back up into the 2nd spot.
So he's doing a brilliant job there, Scope. He moves back up to 2nd place, but Ferocious Dan will not give up there. He will not give up here. But to be fair, though, the softs are going to go. They should be going at any point now. So it depends on what Schofield can do here. He will have to pit at some point here, but unless he can hold those softs all the way to the end. But I can't see him do another 9 laps on the softs. Can you, Tim?
No, not at all. I mean, he might be able to stretch it for another 5. I don't know what his tire wear is looking for, but even that I think is way too much. There's no way he's staying out there for another 9 laps.
Yeah, just say I can't see him doing another 9 laps there as well. So it'd be interesting to see as well. We've got a couple of battles going on here as well. We've got Gasto trying to close in on Roy Boy now for, it was 2/10 now, now it's 4/10 now, but we might have a 4-car battle here but Schofielder drops that. Yeah, Schofielder goes to the pits. I was going to say, there's no chance he would have done another 9 laps on the softs to last to the end of the race. His tyres would have been gone. So Spud, who pitted earlier on, he's dropped himself right back of the grid as well. So, still watching Gasto with the 2 Toro Rossos going side by side here. We would have had 2 wide there, but no, at turn 1. But they're still battling out here. But the Williams of Ozone Typhoon trying to get as close as possible here. And this has been an absolutely fantastic stuff here. Ozone's trying to get the slipstream here, but Gasto's holding on there, and he does a brilliant job there. But would Ozone try and go inside there, but he does not do that through the S's there, passing into the second sector now. And this has been an absolutely belter of a race here tonight on lap 21 of 29 of the Invictus Racing League, the Realist Performance League as well. But Tim, who are you watching so far?
Currently watching a 3-car battle that we got for the 6th position between Sheepy, Meg Luckby, and Nitro Gash. Nitro Gash is more or less just kind of back there watching it with popcorn in his hand, but Meg Luckby and Sir Spud are really going, or Sheepy rather, excuse me, are really going at it. The Ferrari of Sheepy about half a second or so, a little more in front of the Red Bull of Meg Luckby, but Meg Luckby really just trying to chase him down. Sheepy, there's a lot of lockups coming from that Ferrari, so sooner or later, I think that those tires are going to really show some wear. 12 laps on the hard tires right now, so more or less they should be starting to kick in and should be feeling good, but with a lot of lockups, they can only take that for so long. So the Red Bull of Meg Luckby just kind of waiting in the wing, and looks like he's actually using the slipstream and maybe even some DRS here to get close to Sheepy as they go to turn 1. He gained a lot of position down that back straightaway, or that front straightaway rather, but still holding on to the 7th position, but getting ever so closer as he's got yet another chance at DRS here, but a very short stretch. Sheepy moves down low to try to protect the inside. Meg Luckby gains a lot of track position there yet again, but still holding right behind the Ferrari.
Yeah, so still trying to see what happens here as well, but with Meg Luckby trying to close in now as well, but Sheepy will do everything he can to hold on here. But Rymac will be closing on Luke Bailey for 4th place, with Sheepy in 6th, Meg Luckby in 7th. Nigel Gash is slowly creeping in from 8th place here, so he's not close to getting to a top 6 here if he plays his cards right here. But Mike and Gaston and Roy Boy are having a really good battle, as you can just see at the back of the grid, back of the screen there as well. So just going to have a quick look at Mike's point of view, because he is getting closer to Gaston here with the DRS straight with 2/10 as well. So Mike will try and close in, and he's coming up to, which is turn 12 into the end of the second sector into the 3rd. This will be a great opportunity here. Nigel Gash moves up to 7th place. Meg Luckby's dropped down to 8th place now. Mike's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. So interesting stuff here as well. From this point of view here. Oh, Mike has spun at turn 14, but he survived. He has saved his car to stop any issues there. Yellow flag sector 3, that is from Mike's car. So he'll have to go back into the pits. Might have to a bit early for the hard tyres, but I think he'll try and go for the soft tyres to try and get the fastest lap of the race itself. Tim.
Currently watching O'Steven, who is starting to gain on Meg Luckby. Meg Luckby, the reason he dropped back is he actually just went a little bit too wide out of turn 12. Kind of got into the gravels a little bit, so he had one hell of a car to hang on to, but he was able to save it, but not without losing a position to Nitro Gash. So Nitro Gash running in 7th, Meg Luckby in 8th, O'Steven in 9th, and trying to gain on that Red Bull as down by Luckby going into turn 10. He locks it up and overshoots the corner, so that's going to allow O'Steven to get underneath him and to get by him, as Meg Luckby is just now dropping like a rock.
But O'Steven made the move there on turn 10, and he did that with perfect there. So fantastic move there from O'Steven. Brilliant stuff there. But Meg Luckby will have to try and bounce back here. It looks like some of the guys who are on the hard tyres, they look struggling. We might have some technical difficulties on screen, but hopefully that will be sorted sooner rather than later. But looking at it from this point of view here, Gasto trying to close in on Roy Boy now for 10th place here. So let's see what happens here. We're coming to the final corner now. There's a down the straight here. He should have the DRS. He should have the DRS active here. Trying to get, yeah, he has. He's going to try and get closer and closer. And then ever before, try and get as close as he can into the first corner there, but Meg Lubby will try and get onto O'Stephen there for 8th place here. So let's see.
This has been a really good battle, though. I'll say that much. Meg Luckby just trying everything he can, but unfortunately going the wrong way, while Nitro Cash and O'Stephen just kind of moving forward a little bit.
They are getting moving forward a little bit here, but fair play to these drivers here. They capitalise on the mistakes, and when you do, you get some good positions, and that's what they've done so far in this race here. But fair play as well. But Boy Better Know, which we haven't mentioned much during the streams here, but he's done a brilliant job. He's gained nearly his 6-second gap, which is 4.1 now, but he's nearly getting his gap again, which he lost out on the safety car at lap 11. So fair play to him. He's done a brilliant job there. But well done to Carlsberg as well in the top 3 as things stand here. But with the medium tyres with 15 laps, the telemetry, so he much got 2 more laps of it. Can he try and hold on for 18 laps of the mediums? That'll be a big question to ask. But do you think will be wise there, Tim?
I don't know. We're going to have to see, but it's lap 25 of 29 in the Bahrain Grand Prix now, and I'm actually taking a look at Gasto and Roy Boy. Gasto the past couple laps has just been gaining there on his car-allocated teammate anyway, so 2 Toro Rossos, we might have a bit of a showdown here at the end as they have about 5 laps to go. Yeah, so fair play to these guys here as well. So it's been a good race, don't get me wrong. It's been a classic race from so many battles for like 2 wide or 3 wide here, but at the moment here, 2 battles going on with O'Stephen and Meg Lugby and Roy Boy and Gasto for the battles on the screen here, live and exclusive for you guys. Mike has got the fast lap of the race now with a 1:30.202. Another rule which I forgot to mention at the start of the session here, Tim, is if you get pole position in the qualifying, you do get 2 extra championship points. So that will be crucial as well. So Jos would have had 2 extra points on himself because he had the fastest lap on there. But fair play to the guys here as well. But like I said, we're on lap 25-29. Will anyone try and stop the top 3 battling out here, or will there be a shock along the way? Do you think there'll be another safety car, guys, if you're watching it live and exclusive as well? Make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here as well. Tim? Yeah, I don't really see there being much of a safety car, honestly, because really the only battles that we have going on is Gasto and Roy Boy and Meg Lugby and O'Stephen. And it looks like O'Stephen, yeah, he is even approaching Nitro Gash there a little bit. So we got a few battles going on, but I don't really see a safety car happening in these final few laps. I just think that the race has gotten a little bit too spread out. But just as I say that, it looks as though Meg Lugby is... No, excuse me. The scoring issues are really messing with me. But going back to take a look at Gasto, actually, because Gasto has gotten by Roy Boy. So Roy Boy in 11th, Gasto in 10th, 2 Toro Rossos just kind of battling it out here. And on lap 26-29, I think it's going to be a really good battle for these last few laps.
Yeah, so they've done a brilliant job here between the 2 Toro Rosso boys here. So they've done a brilliant job here for this battle galore. Colesbury on my screen is in 3rd place, but he's 6/10 off Ferocious Dan in 2nd place here. So this will be the crucial one now. Meg Lugby will be trying to close in on Stephen now for 8th place here. Nigel Gash will be the one to worry about in the next few laps or so. If these two are going to get closer and closer than ever before. They're in the 3rd sector now, passing into turn 13 now as well. So here we go. Can we try and see if there's any battles galore here as well? But let's see if Meg Lugby can try and get the overtake. But obviously Stephen will have the DRS because of the Nigel Gash under a 2nd gap. But let's see if they can try and get close in that one. But who's been your driver of the day so far, Tim?
I think I'm going to have to give it to Boy Better Know, just simply because he was able to make a move on lap 1. He was part of the 3-wide situation between him, Jos, and I believe Lozak 97. And he was able to eventually work his way up into the lead, and then he just completely pulled away. And then in addition to that, we had the virtual safety car, so it kind of bunched the field up a little bit, but then we had the safety car, and that really bunched the field up to where they were all basically nose to tail. And even still, Boy Better Know was able to just rocket out ahead and get up to what is now a 5.1 second lead.
Yeah, but he's done a brilliant job there, Boy Better Know, so 5.1 second gap as well. And he's, like I said earlier, he's trying to get his 6-second gap, and he is getting there with ease there. So he'll be the one to watch this season, obviously, if he can keep his consistency going. But while you was watching that, answering that question there, Tim, there was a bit of contact between Meg Lugby, O'Stevens' car as well. Meg Lugby lost it at the first corner. A little bit of collision there, so he's lost a bit of his front wing, so he's dropped himself down to 11th place here. Hopefully he'll try and bounce back here on the penultimate lap here of the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League as well. So at the moment here, Boy Better Know in first, Fresh stands in second, Carlsberry in third with 3/10 on there, but he's made a mistake there at turn 3 there, so that will compromise his lap there, so he's back to 9/10 there. Luke Bailey's in fourth, Ryan Mack is in fifth, Sheepy's in sixth, Nigel Gash is in seventh, O'Stevens in eighth, Gasto's in ninth, Roy Boy's in 10th, Meg Lugby's in 11th, Schofielder's in 12th, Ozone's in 13th, Susport 14th, and Mike is in 15th place. With Meg Lugby going to the pits now. Tim.
Yeah, currently I'm just watching Ferocious Dan and Boy Better Know, just kind of watching these laps click down towards Boy Better Know. He's just out into a league of his own, as we've said, this whole race. O'Steven, meanwhile, it looks like he's trying to gain a little bit on Nitro Gash, but just really think that at this point the car is just done. These guys, they've got 17 to 19 laps on these hard tires. There's some guys in the back of the pack that's got soft tires and medium tires, but really there's nobody with fresh tires with the exception of Meg Lugby, who just had to pit. But as far as people in battles, there's nobody with fresh tires. So I'd say that a lot of these guys, they're just absolutely struggling, and at this point just trying to make it to the end of the race. And that is a luxury that can be afforded to these drivers in the preseason race that can't necessarily be afforded to them during the regular season. Because in the preseason, there's no points on the line. It's just for the admins to see how fast these drivers are. So with no points on the line, these drivers, if they're having a bad race or, when their tires start to wear, they can just kind of relax. There's not as much stress in this one particular race as there's going to be in these next races because, as you said, there's going to be points awarded for pole position, and the points themselves have changed. So these drivers have got a lot to think about with this coming season, and they got to really, stick with it. So during the regular season races, they're just every lap, I would imagine that they're going to be, trying to figure out, okay, how do I get more points than I already can? And that's what you would expect from a driver's perspective. But today, not so much. So I think that's one reason why we've kind of gotten this race sort of spread out at this time.
Absolutely. But Mike is closing in on Spud. Now Mike's trying to make the move on turn 1 there. So Spud holding on for 13th place here, but Boy Better Know's coming up to the third sector now, and he's finishing off in the next few corners there, but still battling out here between Spud and Mike here. But Spud holds on there. So Spud has hold on there into 13th place. But can I just say massive congratulations to Boy Better Know, who's just won the pre-season race at the Bahrain Grand Prix. So congratulations to him. Fantastic drive from him. Brilliant drive there. Frost Stein will finish off in second place. Luke Bailey will finish off in third place. So the three drivers out of nowhere, they've done a brilliant job there. But Carlsberry, who would have had a podium there, but he must have made a massive mistake there. But he's moved up to fourth now. Ryan Mack dropped down to fifth because of penalties. Sheepy will finish in sixth. Nigel Gash will finish in seventh. O'Steven will finish in eighth. Gasto will finish in ninth. Roy Boy will finish in ninth. Gasto will finish in 10th. Scopefielder will finish in 11th place. Ozone Typhoon would finish in 12th. But I'm going to go back to Spud and Mike, because I think we might have a close finish battle here for 13th place here at the final corner here. Unless Spud's made a mistake, but Mike's trying to get the slipstream here. We might have a photo finish here for 13th place. Spud's hold on. Spud's hold on there for 13th. Mike will finish in 14th as well. So we'll just try and wait for the classification there. But well done to Boy Better Know, who finishes off, started off with a brand new pre-season at the Invictus Racing League Performance League at the Bahrain Grand Prix to start off there. So fantastic stuff there for Boy Better Know. And well done to Frosh Stan as well, and Luke Bailey in the podiums there as well, for finishing second and third respectively here. So they could be the ones to watch this season here. So we're going to get Tim's thoughts of the race in a moment or two, but first we'll do the race classification now. Here are your race classification for the Bahrain Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Wheels Performance League. Boy Better Know is in first, Frosh Stands in second, Luke Bailey in third, Carlsberry in fourth, Ryan Mack in fifth, Sheepy in sixth, Nigel Gas seventh, O'Stephen in eighth, Roy Boys in ninth, Gastos in 10th, Scopefield in 11th, Ozone 12th, Suspud 13th, Meg 14th, Mike 15th, Mr. P, Energy Dan, Lozak and Jos are the only ones who've had the DNFs during the race tonight. Because this is pre-season, there will be no interviews. We will talk briefly, just a short recap from Tim's point of view, what his thoughts of the race tonight. Tim.
I think it was a really good race. Starting out, we had a 3 wide going into turn 1, and that allowed Lozak to get the lead for a little bit, but then Boy Better Know, after turn 3, he was able to squeak through, and he just absolutely walked away with it. So good driving on Boy Better Know's part. A little bit further back is where really all the battles were happening, and the drivers, they really just seemed to keep their cool. There was a little bit of contact here and there, but they kept their cool, and they kept it entertaining. And, like I said, there's really no points on the line here, so I think that we're going to see a little bit of a different atmosphere here in a few weeks' time when the season starts to get underway and points start to get under people's belts.
Yeah, just waiting to see what happens here. But like I said, you could get the mistakes done and dusted during this race, and rather get it out of the way before we start a brand new season next week for the Japanese Grand Prix. So we can't wait for it as well. And I hope you all enjoyed the stream, live and exclusive for you guys. Myself, Malc and Tim will be back live and exclusive for you guys next week at the Japanese Grand Prix for round 1. So absolutely manic stuff there. So thank you to everyone that's watched the stream. For the final time, can you please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here as well. Cheers for that, guys. Take care of yourselves. See you all next week. Ta-ra a bit. Bye-bye.